Okay, we're still in the L4 start.ai document, and let's go into the View menu and Fit All in Window. Okay, now we can see all the artboards. I'd like to make a copy of the Order Online type and these other elements on the stationary page, but I think they're on the business card layer. So I'm going to go over here to the Layers panel and unlock the business card layer. And with my black arrow, I'm going to click and drag around Order Online and those other elements in order to select them. And I'm going to go under the Edit menu to Cut. Now this will both delete the objects and make a copy on the invisible clipboard. So the keyboard shortcut is Command X or Control X. Okay, they've been deleted and copied. With the black arrow selection tool, let's click on that artboard, the business card artboard, and we'll use the shortcut Command 0 or Control 0 to fit that artboard in window, and then Command minus or Control minus to zoom out a little bit. And we'll go into the Edit menu to paste. And the keyboard shortcut for paste is Command V or Control V, V as in Victor. Okay, now if I look in my Layers panel, I see that that type has been added to the business card layer, but actually I'd like it to be on the foreground layer. So I'm going to click on that little tiny square on the business card layer to the right of the round target, and I'm just going to click on that little tiny square and move it up to the foreground layer, and now those objects are on the foreground layer. And we see the colors change from orange to blue, just because those are the colors that are associated with those two layers. And I can go back and lock the business card layer. I'll put a little padlock in there, and now I don't have to worry about accidentally selecting the background on the business card. So with my black arrow, the selection tool, I'm going to click inside one of these letters and then hold down the Shift key and just move down the Order Online words so that they're kind of centered inside that button. And then I'm going to go into the Select menu to deselect. Okay, the next thing I'd like to do is bring in some art from the Symbols panel. So I'm going to go into the Window menu to Symbols, and then I see it's been over here all the time, docked next to the Layers, Links, and Appearance panels. So in the Symbols panel, I see there is one piece of artwork, one symbol, and it's a floral artwork. I'm just going to click on it and drag it out of the Symbols panel, and now it's on top of our artboard. And I can close the Symbols panel by going back and clicking on the word Symbols on the tab, and now that's closed. So I'm selecting this artwork with my black arrow, the selection tool, and I'm thinking it's really pretty big. So I'm going to double click on the scale tool and just do a uniform scale of 30%. And click OK. And it's a bit smaller now. I'll go back and get my black arrow, my selection tool, by hitting the letter V as in Victor. And now I've got my selection tool, and I'm just going to move this artwork over here a little bit and use my Option spacebar or Alt spacebar shortcut to get my grabber hand and just move the artwork over a little bit like that. Now I'm going to rotate this artwork by double-clicking on the Rotate tool and typing in 90 degrees. And then click the OK button and go back to my Select tool and move it down here a little bit. And I'd like to make a copy, so I'm going to hold down the Option key or Alt key and just click and drag on that floral artwork in order to make a copy. So the Alt key or Option key tells Illustrator I want to make a copy. And now I'd like to reflect this artwork across a horizontal axis. So I'm going to go back over and double click on the Reflect tool and choose Horizontal. And with my preview checked, I can see that it did indeed flip across a horizontal axis. And now I'm going to go ahead and click the OK button and hold down, well, first get my black arrow. There we go. And hold down the Shift key and select the other floral art. So there's a way to select two objects. And I'd like to center them on top of the selected artboard. So I'm going to use the icons in the control panel up here. And if I look at the first icon and click on it, I'm going to see I have three choices: Align to Selection, Align to Key Object, or Align to Artboard. And so that third one is actually the one I would like. I'd like to align those two objects to the artboard. So I'm going to leave that checked. And then I'm going to look at my alignment options, and the second one here is horizontal align center. Now when I click on that, they're going to be centered on the artboard, hopefully. Let's try that. We'll click on that button, and sure enough, they're both now centered on top of the artboard. So I'm going to go ahead and go into the select menu to deselect, and maybe move the bottom one down just a little bit. So I'm going to click on that, click, hold the shift key down, and move down a little bit there, just so that the two pieces of artwork are no longer touching. Alright, now I'm going to hold down the shift key again and select the one on top, and let's move the artboard to the left. Hold down the option key, spacebar, or alt key spacebar, and that way I can just move the artboard over, release those keys, and then with the black arrow of the selection tool, I'm going to click on the floral artwork and just move it over here to the right so that it's positioned about like that on top of the artwork, on top of the business card. And now I'm going to change the transparency of that floral art. So I'm going to go over to the transparency panel, and I'm going to change the blending mode. Now these blending modes are very similar to what we have in Photoshop. I'm going to change the blending mode to overlay, and this changes the way the colors of objects are affected when the objects are on top of one another. So we'll choose the overlay blending mode, and now we see the color has changed wherever that art overlaps the background art. We'll go into the select menu to deselect, and now we've got a new addition to the background art.